all new Tuesdays.
We're a team. I fix them, you shine them up, you sell them.
Guess this is why we drive these before we buy them.
Rush to Riches on 4 Wheels. The Car Chasers. Tuesdays, 10 Eastern.
Coming up on the Suze Orman Show. I'm talking marriage equality and why this is a very important week that's coming up. Also, if you get out of credit card debt this time, what do you think is going to stop you from getting back into it?
I'm hoping this kind of smackdown that we're in the middle of.
And you ask me, can I afford it?
I want to buy a Louis Vuitton Never Full bag.
Does it just eat at you? Does it just look at you and go, come and get me, come and get me, you need me, right?
Yes.
Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching The Suze Orman Show. Tonight, I want to talk about marriage equality. Now, this is a topic that I've talked about many times in the past, but I really want to talk about it tonight because in this coming week, the Supreme Court is going to start to hear arguments on 2 very important cases. One will be Proposition 8 in the state of California, which is it constitutional to, in essence, ban same-sex marriages? We're going to find out. But more importantly, anyway, in my opinion, because it really is on the federal level, is DOMA, the Defense of the Marriage Act. Now, for those of you who don't know what DOMA is, let me see if I could just simply explain it. On September 21st, 1996, this act was signed into law. And this act did 2 things. Number one, it made it so that states did not have to recognize same-sex marriages from other states. But on the federal level, nowhere in the federal government do they recognize a same-sex marriage. Marriage is defined between a man and a woman. And if it's not between a man and a woman, then you are not recognized as married for Social Security, for filing joint tax returns, for health benefits, for all the financial benefits that a married couple can enjoy. So they're going to have to make a decision on that. But I am a hoping and a wishing and a praying that DOMA is overturned. Obviously, I have a lot at stake here. I have been gay my entire life. I've been in a relationship with KT for 12 years now, and I want to enjoy the same benefits as everybody else, but not just on a financial level, on an emotional level. I want to feel valid 100% of the times, and I have to tell you, I don't. So I just want to give you a little insight as to how it really affects me, even in my own home. So here we are, it's Thanksgiving, and we have all the relatives over all the time. We have KT's sisters, we have KT's sisters' kids, and especially 2 of these kids are younger. And they've known me their entire life as Aunt Susie. And we sit around the table, and the kids are asking, well, how did you 2 meet? How did you get married? What was it like for the marriage ceremony? But they're not asking me and KT. They're asking their parents. They're asking their other aunt and uncle, with no mention at all asking, well, how did you and KT meet? How did you get married? What was that like? And I'm sitting there going, don't you want to know about me? Don't you care about Aunt Kathy and me and how we did that? And it doesn't even dawn on them to ask us those little simple questions. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm here to tell you it is. Every single gay person out there, every single person that's in a committed relationship needs to feel validated. They need to be recognized. They need to be able to have a place to talk about who they love, how they love, and what it was like to meet one another. Not such a big thing to ask. So this is the week that history could start to change, that arguments are going to be presented. I hope all of you listen. I hope all of you participate, and I hope all of you make it so that these laws are overturned once and for all. Now to our one-on-one. Kathleen and Andy are here from San Diego. Kathleen is 41 and Andy is 42. They've been married for 13 years and have 2 sons, ages 8 and 10. Kathleen is in marketing and Andy is a graphic designer. Kathleen and Andy admit that they've made some bad money decisions over the years, including not one, but 2 timeshares. But now they are facing the following. They have $42,000 of credit card debt, $18,000 of student loan debt, and $15,000 of tax debt. They want to deal with this debt in very, very different ways, but it's been hard to move forward because every time they talk about it, they argue about money. So first of all, welcome the 2 of you to the Suze Orman Show. And
Thank
Kathleen,
you.
I have to just start with you because you're the one who wrote in. And here's what I find interesting about what you wrote in with. You said, you know, you never understood why people argued about money and how it was even possible that those arguments led to a divorce. But now you're kind of understanding that. So what's up, girlfriend?
That's exactly right. I've heard all along that money is one of the reasons that people divorce and separate, and I didn't really understand that before, because you either have money or you don't, and you just kind of agree, to work within those guidelines. But I think for us, it's just been over the course of a couple of years, things have changed, and we have just disagreed again and again, and we kind of lived off of our credit cards a little too much. And now when we're faced with not having that ability any longer, we're kind of butting heads on what to do and where to go. And whenever we bring it up, it becomes an argument. And I could see it was 3 o'clock in the morning when I wrote into the show, and I couldn't sleep because we had just had another argument about money and just not coming into agreement on what to do.
What do you think that your main argument is?
I think the main argument is basically coming to a decision and finding a choice, an option that works for both of us, to where we can come up with a solution to try and figure out, okay, well, we need to pay this one this way, we need to pay that one that way.
It's not that which bill should you pay. That's not what you're arguing over. What are you? Give me one line of what you're really arguing over so I can help you here.
Sure. Well, the question came up about a year ago when I was when it was much more grave, our financial situation, than it is now, where I wasn't working full time, and we had, I think, close to $80,000 in debt. And I just didn't see a way out. And so I asked him if we could at least see a financial counselor or a bankruptcy lawyer or somebody that can maybe help us identify what we can do. And he instantly shut down and said, bankruptcy is not an option. We got ourselves into the situation. We'll get ourselves out. And he's very adamant about that. And
so, Kathleen, is that what you're still arguing about? You still, with $40-some-odd thousand of credit card debt now, you still want to claim bankruptcy, and Andy, you don't want her to, correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, to the degree that, as she even stated, that, I mean, I've always looked at bankruptcy as that final option where you've exhausted everything, but more to the point that it's sort of, our situation is sort of self-inflicted. I mean, we brought it upon ourselves.
All right, so let me address this for a second here, because there are many times on the Suze Orman Show where I've told people to claim bankruptcy. This isn't one of them. When I tell somebody to claim bankruptcy, it's because there is no other out. They're going to just stop making the payments anyway because it's impossible for them to make payments. But that is not the case here. The 2 of you make a substantial amount of money a year. The 2 of you together make about $144,000 a year. That is a lot of money. That's not a bankrupt situation. And my fear for you, Kathleen, is this. Years ago, when you were young, in your 20s, you owed $8,000 of credit card debt. So your way out was $8,000 of credit card debt, I'll claim bankruptcy. And you did.
when I was in college and had that $8,000 debt, I actually went to a consumer credit counseling. I wanted to find a way to pay down the debt. So bankruptcy actually wasn't my first inclination. But they told me that with the amount of money that I make and the debt that I had, that bankruptcy was my best option.
Yes,
so I went with
that is normally because when you don't go to one of those debt management programs, if they look at your situation and they don't think that you can pay down this debt within 5 years, then they will suggest that you claim bankruptcy. But that's not the situation here. This wasn't just as a few years ago you were living your life and everything was okay. You have made decisions from, as far as I can see, forever, that make absolutely no sense to me at all, such as these timeshares. What in the world possessed you to not only want to buy one timeshare, but to buy two?
The first one that we did was sort of a back and forth, but then we finally, realized we're looking at it as the benefits of being able to go on these trips and do these places and have a week to trade out and all the things that they hype up. That wasn't what we got out of the deal. And so when we were presented with the second option, it was like, well, this option it's a lot less and it offers more than the other one. And so that's how we got into the second one.
But nowhere in that equation was the conversation, but can we afford it? Because you were living on credit cards back then. You were doing things that you couldn't afford back then. So you were living in this like financial fog of, well, as long as I have credit on my credit cards, I can continue to live the lifestyle that I'm living. Now, most of your credit cards have shut you down. You have no credit limit whatsoever. And once again, here you are on the Suze Orman Show. Not so much that you woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning because you're arguing over money, Kathleen. The truth of the matter is the two of you are here because you don't know how to make ends meet anymore because you have $1,000 a month in deficit from what you bring in and what you pay. So you can't pay for things anymore because you don't have any credit cards left to put any of the things that not only you wanted on, but you needed on. So this was a financial smackdown from the credit cards company saying, you aren't going to be living off of my cards anymore. You're not going to be living off of other people's money, and you're not, as Suze Orman says, going to claim bankruptcy. What makes the two of you think that you won't do this to yourself all over again? Because every indication that I see here says you're probably going to do this all over again.
And we have, actually. We have. We paid down all of our credit cards about 5 years ago, and then we racked them right back up.
All right, now, that is what we need to talk about. If you get out of credit card debt this time, what do you think is going to stop you from getting back into it?
Well, I'm hoping this kind of smackdown that we're in the middle of. I mean, I'm hoping that we can learn from our mistakes and get on a good plan to make better, smarter decisions with our money.
So here's then, if that's what you're hoping for, here's what I'm going to tell you. You got away with it when you were in your 20s. You got away with it when you were in your late 30s. So now that you're 41 and you're 42, and it will be 5 years before you're out of credit card debt, most likely. That will put you in your mid-40s, and there is no time left for you to do this again. You can play this all over again, but if you come back in 5 or 10 years from now and say, I did it again, you will never be able to retire. You will never be able to do anything. If one of you gets sick, you could very well end up losing the home, losing everything that you have. So my suggestion to you would be the following. Okay. You have $1,000 a month deficit. Andy, you said you don't want to claim bankruptcy. I don't want you to claim bankruptcy, but we still have to make up this $1,000 a month. Therefore, you said in your paperwork that you are willing to get a second job, to work longer, to make more money. You are going to have to do exactly that, because there are not many places that I can look and find where we can cut $1,000 from your current expenses. So since we can't cut, you're going to have to make more money. I would suggest that you literally close down your credit cards, you cut them up, you never open up another credit card as long as you live, that you only operate on debit cards or whatever card will make it so that you never get yourself into credit card debt again. So right here on the Suze Orman Show, I want you to vow to yourselves and to America that you are going to cut up every single credit card that you have. You are going to close every account that you have, and you never, as long as you live again, will open up a credit card. Go on.
Yes,
Vow
I
it.
vow. I vow it.
I commit.
So here's what I want. I want you to take video footage or a picture of you cutting up all of your cards. I want you to go to a debt management program and start to get rid of this credit card debt. Andy, I want you to start making more money. I also want you to look into getting rid of the second timeshare that you have. I don't care if it's going to cost you money to get out of it. Do not foreclose on a timeshare, because you will end up having to pay taxes on it, as you have found out, because you walked away from your timeshare when you could have just paid them $2,500. Now you're paying $8,000 or $9,000 in taxes. You need to be honest with each other. You need to tell each other the truth. And you need to not give in to each other simply because you love each other. If you love each other, stand strong and say, we cannot afford it. You are denied. That's what you have to do. Do you want to take on almost $200,000 of student loan debt for a private school? Really?
He's worked hard.
Oh, please don't give me that. Oh. And later, when wanting something, ask me, can I afford it?
I want to get my ultimate swimming pool, and that's the swimming pool that I've been dreaming about since I was a little girl.
You're going to say, why am I doing this? I'm drowning in debt. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Let's go to South Carolina. We have Chris on the air. Sir, ask me your question.
Hi, Susie. Thank you so much for having me on your show. My dilemma is, back when I was 20 years old, a full-time college student and a part-time bag boy at a local grocery store, I co-signed a federal college loan for an ex-girlfriend. It's been almost 20 years later, and she still hasn't paid it off. The original amount was $2,200, and now it's grown to over $4,300. How did this financial aid office allow someone so young to co-sign for another student without any advice or counseling? Should I just pay it off before it grows any larger and ruins my FICO score?
Yeah, you should. I'm speechless at it, because I don't know how a financial aid department allowed that to happen. I don't know how a lot of these things with co-signing, especially student loans, I think it should just be outlawed. Either you get a student loan on your own or you don't. It's one thing if your parents want to sign for you, fine. But I think it's absolutely ridiculous that a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, I don't care who they are, ever co-signs a student loan for somebody else. It should just be X'd off the possibilities that that's what it could take to get a student loan. With saying that, they don't want you to pay the student loan because it's doubled in value, and you have to pay it. So you have to bite the bullet on this one, just pay it off, and thank God it was only for $2,200 and not $22,000. Let's go to Nadine in Massachusetts. Go for it.
Hi, Susie. Thank you so much for taking my call. Our son will be going off to college this fall, and his top choices are private schools, and they both cost about $40,000 a year. We filled out the FAFSA, but we aren't expecting much. We don't have a lot of debt except for a car payment and a very small mortgage, which will be paid off in 5 years. So here's my question. Do you think it's a viable option to refinance our home to pay for his school at the low rates that are being offered, or should we do the traditional student loan route?
If you do a traditional student loan route, are you going to be the one making those payments, or are you going to have him make those payments?
We would probably make the payments until, well, I think they only give him like $5,500 a year.
Well, wait, Mindy, I just have to ask you another question.
Yeah.
I get that he wants to go to a private school. Do you want him to go to a private school? Do you want to take on almost $200,000 of student loan debt for a private school? Really?
Well,
that's a yes or no. No.
He's worked hard.
Oh, please don't give me that. Oh, he's worked hard. He's 18 years old. How hard could he have worked? Are you kidding me? Do you want to refinance your home that's going to be paid for in full in just 5 years to go almost $200,000 in debt for him to go to a private school? Does he know what he wants to be?
He wants to do engineering.
Engineering. And is he positive about that? Is he a straight A student? Is he really going to be an engineer?
He thinks he's positive that he wants to do engineering.
Are you, Mama? If you were being the mother here right now, and you weren't being afraid of your child and what he was going to think of you, would you really go $200,000 in debt for this? Really, Mama? You think a private school is going to make that much of a difference as to what happens to him after he graduates? Really? Do you?
It could. He's only applied to one in-state school, and it's not, their engineering program is nowhere near.
Why didn't he apply to other regular public universities in other places? So here's the bottom line. Since you're going to be the one who's going to pay for it, you are far better off taking out the equity in your home, believe it or not, at these low interest rates, but do a fixed mortgage. Do not just do a home equity line of credit. And lock in this 3%, and then you'll have to deal with it. That's far better than student loan debt at 6.8 or possibly even 7.9 or 8.2%. However, I would really think twice about this one if I were you. Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
I want to buy 2 concert tickets to the One Direction concert this summer in Pittsburgh. The concert sold out, so the cheapest tickets I've found are $900 for the 2 of them.
Are you kidding me? Also,
I want to buy a Louis Vuitton Never Full bag.
What does that mean, never full?
I don't know.
I do know it's $940, and that means your bank accounts are never full. What do you want to buy?
The One Direction concert this summer. Ultimate swimming pool. Central humidifier for our home.
All righty, it is that time right now where you call in, you tell me what it is that you want to buy, and I tell you if you can afford it or not. That's why we call it the Can I Afford It segment. All right, Jessica, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I want to buy 2 concert tickets to the One Direction concert this summer in Pittsburgh. It's my little sister's birthday, and I'll be home on vacation on her birthday. And the concert sold out, so the cheapest tickets I've found are $900 for the 2 of them.
Are you kidding me? That you really think that One Direction is worth $900?
They're fun.
They're fun. All right. Show me the money. Let's see what direction this goes. Go on.
My take-home pay is $4,000 a month.
Good.
My expenses are $3,200, and that includes $1,250 for rent. My only debt is $19,000 in a car loan, and for my savings, I have $1,100 liquid, $5,300 in investments, and $200 started in retirement.
So you're just going to take the $900 out of your liquid to pay for it. So it's not like you're going to go into credit card debt to do this, right?
No, I'm not going to.
So you're just going to take the $900 to do so, and that will leave you $200 in your savings account. Is that right?
Well, I was hoping maybe a good income tax refund. I would either pay with my income tax refund this year or savings bond, cash in and take it from investments.
So you're going to take money from investments or your tax refund when all you have anyway is $1,100 in savings, when you should have far more than that. Denied, girlfriend. What are you thinking? I know they're cute. I know it sounds like it's fun, but you now are 22 years of age. You're working. You have to act like an adult, not just, no, you can't go. You just can't. All right, Patricia, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I just want to let you know I love your show, and I know everybody says that, but my husband and I get to entertain ourselves by watching you on Saturday nights.
I won't ask you how you do that, but anyway, what do you want to buy, sweetheart?
I want to get my ultimate swimming pool, and that's a swimming pool that I've been dreaming about since I was a little girl. So we've been planning this for a while. When we're looking for houses, when we first got married, it was either going to be a house that already had a pool or a house with a big backyard so that we could build a pool. So we went with the second option, and now we're like, okay, we're ready to build it.
All right, well, show me the money, because $50,000 is a lot of money. So really, let's go see. Let's dive into the deep blue yonder and see how much money you really have.
All right. Well, our take home is $5,873 a month, and that includes $873 in a rental. Our expenses are $4,585 a month. The only debt we have is our house, which is $112,000, 15-year fixed mortgage at 2.85%. We plan on having that paid off in 48 months, by the way. And in savings, we have $5,000 liquid, $15,000.
Wait, you plan on having your house paid off in how long?
48 months.
So another 4 years, that house is gone.
Yes.
All right, go on.
That's our plan.
All right.
And in savings, we have $5,000 in liquid, $15,000 in investments, and $140,000 in retirement.
Yeah. Indoor pool, outdoor pool, what do you got going here?
Indoor, because we want to enjoy it year-round, and we want to be able to have friends over any time of the year and be able to enjoy it.
All right, so you're only 28 years of age. I see $140,000 in retirement. I hear you're going to have your house paid off in 4 years, but how are you going to pay for it in the meantime?
We were planning on financing it. We already looked into our current mortgage company, and they said that we can finance with them, and it would also be at 2.85%.
All right, which would increase your payments, just your monthly payments, about $100, $200 a month. That's it, correct?
Yes.
All right, so it looks pretty good to me. Denied. Oh, yes.
But I'm not really shocked because before that, before we went on the show, I was like, I think we're going to get denied, and I kind of want to deny myself.
So let me tell you why. There is a lot of expense to a pool. Not even the monthly expense that it's going to cost you to have every single month, but the upkeep, all the pumps break. Things happen in a pool that really can cost you a whole lot more money. My fear is that, number one, you should have $32,000 in an emergency fund, not $5,000. That's number one. Number two, your income, $800 of that is made up of rental income from somebody. If they all of a sudden stop paying you that rental income, and you increase your costs or your monthly expenses by this pool, you're going to barely have enough to make it. And you're going to say, why am I doing this? I'm drowning in debt rather than swimming in your pool. Chris, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I want to buy a long weekend to Romania to visit my wife while she's studying abroad. She's there as part of her MSW, and she's very upset. She's going to miss your show, which we watch every week.
Yeah.
And I really want to surprise her so we don't have to miss our regular date night with you.
Are you blaming me for why you want to spend $1,500 to go to your wife in Romania? Here's the thing, just so you all know, this show is on iTunes. You can all watch it for free or on CNBC.com, so she doesn't have to miss it. Boyfriend, $1,500 for a long weekend in Romania. Show me the money.
Great. Our take-home is $45.20 a month. Our expenses are $39.35 a month. For debt, we have a $186,000 mortgage at a 30-year fixed, a $4,000 car loan at 0%, and $18,000 in student loans that are deferred. And in savings, we have $1,500 liquid, we have $36,000 in investments, and $47,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
We just bought the house last month, so unfortunately, I think I got to put it on a credit card and pay it off.
Denied. Not even close. You're going to have to Skype each other. Are you kidding me? Here's the scoop. You have how much in a savings account, an emergency fund? You need about $32,000 in an emergency fund in case something went wrong. You have what? $18,000 of student loan debt that's deferred? No way, boyfriend, you are not going. You can watch it on TV to see me say denied. Anyway, all right, Kate, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I'm so excited to be talking to you right now.
Thanks, Kate, but what do you want to buy?
Well, I'm sure you can relate to Chicago winters and how dry the air gets when you've got the heater going. So I would like to get a central humidifier for our home.
You know what I used to do? I used to take buckets of water and just put it on the radiator so that it kind of humidified it for free. But that was me back then, what can I tell you? So $550 for a central humidifier. Show me the money.
Okay, our take-home pay is $7,773 a month.
Yeah.
Our expenses are $4,822 a month. Our debt, we have a $327,000 mortgage at 30-year fixed and a $10,000 loan. And in savings, we have $54,000 liquid and $121,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Good old-fashioned cash.
That's my girl, because guess what? You aren't going to be dry anymore because you have been approved, because you have more than enough money to do it, sweetheart. Gina, what do you want to buy?
Hi, I want to buy a Louis Vuitton Never Full bag.
What does that mean, never full?
Well, I don't know. That's what they call it, but I don't know.
You don't know, but I do know it's $940, and that means your bank accounts are never full because the money's going into that purse instead. Girlfriend, $940 for a Louis Vuitton Never Full bag. Show me the money.
Well, okay. My take home is $12,261 a month, and that includes $2,500 in rentals. Our expenses are about $11,850. Our debt is $189,000 with a 50-year fixed mortgage, $2,000 credit card, and $13,000 for a car loan, and $12,000 for a student loan. And in savings, we have about $16,000 liquid and $33,000 investments and $89,000 in retirement.
How are you going to pay for this?
Well, I've been putting it off for 2 years, but I love it so much, and with my income tax return.
So does it just eat at you? Does it just look at you and go, come and get me, come and get me, you need me, right?
Yes, it tortures me. One of the moms at the daycare has it, and I'm see her every day. I'm like, no.
One of the moms at the daycare has it, and so that's why you want it denied. You aren't even close to getting it. You have credit card debt. I know you make a nice income, but you have even more expenses almost. You're not, no, you are denied, and you can tell the woman at the daycare center that has it, you hope she has the money to fill it up. Rather than never being full. No way, girlfriend. Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? All you have to do is go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you'll find the information that you need to know there to come and play with me right here. And if you do so, guess what? You get to have one of these 2 T-shirts. I love these T-shirts. Next, I tackle trending topics in Ask Suze. If you already don't make enough money to pay your bills on time, I don't personally understand how a credit card's going to help you in any way other than getting you into credit card trouble. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are in the control room at CNBC headquarters. So many ways for you to reach me. Take a look at your screen. You can send in an email. You can join me on Facebook. And if you happen to put hashtag Ask Suze and send in a tweet, it comes right here. And if we choose it, you'll be on the air. Let's see what's trending right now. From @CapEsque. My 2013 goal is to live with less and save $1,500 a month. But what should I do with it? I'm scared but ready to invest. Cap, here's what scares me. You use the word scared. And when you do something when you're afraid to do it, you will buy at the wrong time and you will sell at the wrong time. So first, let's get it so that you are not afraid. Step by step, if you're starting to save $1,000 a month or whatever it is, make sure that you have at least an 8-month emergency fund. Make sure that you are totally out of credit card debt. Now, if you're saving that money, where should you save it? I think you should first fund, after emergency and credit card debt is gone, you should first fund a Roth IRA. So get this money into a Roth IRA if you're young, under 50, $5,500 a year. It's there that you will start to invest little by little. Just because you have $5,500 in your Roth doesn't mean you have to invest all of it. So you might want to just start with $50 a month or, $100, just little by little till you are not afraid. But that's essentially what you do with it. Let's see what else is trending. At P. Cipriani, is it good for your credit rating to have multiple credit cards with no balances, or does that hurt you? Yeah, it's really good to have multiple credit cards with no balances because that helps what? Your debt to credit limit ratio. If you have all these credit cards, you have credit limits on these cards. If you have zero debt on these cards, then your debt, what you owe to your credit limit, is low. When it is low, your FICO score goes up. So absolutely it's good for you, but be careful because sometimes when you have credit cards, you're tempted to use them. So if you just stay responsible and don't use them and you're not paying fees on them, I don't have a problem with that at all. All right, let's go to webcam right now. We're going to Nicole, Virginia. What do you need to know, girlfriend?
Hi, Susie. Thanks for taking my call. I'm 27. I think I make decent money as a retail manager, but it never seems to complete my bills and everything and all of my needs. I was wondering, would it be a good idea to get a credit card with my bank and put all my bills on there so they make sure they're paid in full on time, and then pay the credit card bill so then I can start to build my credit? I have no credit card debt, and school's paid off.
Nicole, you're worrying me because if you already don't make enough money to pay your bills on time, I don't personally understand how a credit card's going to help you in any way other than getting you into credit card trouble. And let me tell you why. You pay all your bills. You've charged $3,000. Now the credit bill comes in and you see $3,000, minimum payment due, $60. Do you really think you're going to reach into your $3,000 that you don't have? Because if you had it, you would have paid your bills with it. Do you really think you're going to do that, or are you going to pay the $60 and pay the interest on the remaining balance? Of course you are. So do not do it. Your reasoning for it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. If you're not making enough money now to pay your bills, you have to reduce your bills, or you have to get another job, or make more money, or both. Here, if you don't have any credit, do me a favor. Just get yourself and start with a secured credit card. Make sure you pay it off in full every single month, but don't go doing what you're about to do because you're going to get yourself in trouble. Let's go back to the studio, and here's what's coming up next. Rosa wants to know, Susie,
how are we doing? It's a second marriage for both of us, so we got a late start saving for retirement.
What could you be doing different? Why didn't you give yourself an A?
I don't know, Susie. Take it easy on me.
Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. I'm 52. My husband is 53, and we've been married for 8 years. It's a second marriage for both of us, so we got a late start saving for retirement. Although we'll have small pensions, our goal is to retire when I'm 59 and Kevin is 60. We want to spend winters in our condo in Florida and summers in the Northeast at our lakefront cottage. Susie, how are we doing?
Rosa, girlfriend, how are you?
Hey, Susie, it is such an honor to talk to you. Thank you so much for all your insight.
You are welcome, kind lady. So let's just cut right to this chase. You want to know, do you have what it takes to retire in essentially 7 years from now, correct?
That is right.
And if you were going to give yourself a grade, what would you grade yourself?
A B+.
A B+. What could you be doing different? Why didn't you give yourself an A?
I know I don't have a will. I don't know, Susie. Take it easy on me, I guess.
All right, we'll see. But you really gave yourself a B+. It's kind of like a high score, you know, that's really close to an A. So in essence, you think in your mind, you're really going to be able to do this in 7 years. Whatever.
I know.
Oh, whatever. Let's take a look, everybody. Here we have Rosa is 52. Kevin is 53. As she told you, they are married. They have $553,000 in their retirement account. They have $33,000 in emergency funds. They have $95,000 in their investments. Their home is worth $390,000. They have no mortgage on these homes, no debt, nothing at all like that. They own all their cars and everything outright. They have a net worth of $1,071,997. But here's what we have going on next. They have after-tax income of $4,400 per month. Their monthly expenses are about $3,800 a month. So that gives them about $600 a month in excess. Above and beyond what they're currently saving in their retirement accounts and everything like that, they still have $600 there. So here's what I want to tell you. Now, Rosa, I know that you're really trying hard. I know that you think you're doing great, and I know that you gave yourself a B+. But if I was going to give you a grade, I have to say, shame on you for giving yourself a B+. Really. Should have given yourself at least an A-. I think you're doing absolutely incredible, and let me tell you why. Right now, you have about $4,000 a month in expenses. I increased that in 7 years to be $5,000 a month because you're going to have your own health insurance to pay for, long-term care, all of those things. So $5,000 a month is our goal. If you continue to put the amount of money that you're putting away every single month as you are right now, do you know in just 7 years, when you are 59 and 60, you will have $1 million put away. Some of that is taxable, some of that is not. But if you take some of that, not even all of it, and you add your pension to it, after-tax income is going to be at least $6,000 a month. Your expenses are only $5,000 a month, so that gives us $1,000 a month excess, and we really haven't touched a whole lot of your other types of investments that you have. You're going to be more than okay, girlfriend. Why did I not give you an A? I'll tell you, because here is your way to an A. You were right. You need a will. But you not only need a will, you need a living revocable trust. And as you get a little bit older here, maybe in a year or so, if I were you, I would be looking into long-term care insurance to make sure that nothing derails your perfect retirement. Up next, one more thing that I want you to know. Money does not have a sex. It does not have a religion. It does not have an age or a tax bracket. It's really for every single one of you out there. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. So it's almost a wrap here on the Suze Orman Show. But before we go, there's still one more thing that I want you to know. I started tonight's show talking about marriage equality, and not just on the financial level, but the emotional level as well, why it is important that marriage equality is something that every single one of us can enjoy. But I want to talk about money for 1 second. Money is very fascinating. I've always made it very important here on the show for everybody to understand that money does not have a sex. It does not have a religion. It does not have an age or a tax bracket. It's really for every single one of you out there. And I've always wanted this show to be inclusive, no matter what your financial situation, no matter what your age, no matter what, that there was information on this show so that you could live a better life, so that you could be more, so that you can have more. And I hope from the bottom of my heart that that comes through to all of you in every single second of every single show. Now you know. But until next week, there's really only one thing that I want you to remember when it comes to your money, and it is this: people first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe.